G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, it's another cold morning in Adelaide. Got the diesel heater going, you can probably hear it in the background. And today's little mission is repair or investigate the two battery chargers. The brother-in-law dropped in yesterday and dropped them off. Both not working, both previously fixed up by me to working condition and since destroyed, but that's typical of what goes on farms. They're as rough as guts, the way they handle stuff. And I've told them a number of times, you know, with these chargers, never ever let the things go on full amperage. You know, it means that there's something seriously wrong with the battery, you know, either dead short or heavily sulfated or something. You never ever leave these battery chargers on with the needle right over to the far right hand side. You're going to cook them for sure. But no, they don't bloody well listen to me, and next thing you know, they fuck them up. So I've now got to rework the bloody things again. You know, right, it's totally unnecessary. Now they have thermal cutouts in these things from new. They're like a little heat tab, and when they get hot, they open up and break the circuit, but they never work. They're as crude as you can get. They rarely work, and from my experience, and both these chargers had them fitted to them before I actually first worked on them, and they didn't save the battery chargers at all. You know, they blew the bridge rectifiers on both of them. Luckily the transformers are okay, because if that goes well, the whole thing's a throwaway. But if it's just a bridge rectifier, well, a bridge rectifier will cost you about $2 to $3 Australian. They're very, very cheap. They're easy to replace, and you're up and running again. So let's have a look at these and see what damage we've got, all right? I think one of them, from what I heard, had smoke coming out of it, so that doesn't sound too bloody good, does it? All right, moving on. All right, this one doesn't look too bad. There's no signs of burning on the transformer. Here's your bridge rectifier, and you can see one of the wires is disconnected. You can also see that the solder is shiny, so it means that even though it was soldered on there, that lead has got so hot that it's melted the solder and the wire's fallen off. So that means the bridge rectifier is fucked, as you would expect. So that's the first sign. If you see a wire hanging off, it's probably not a bad solder connection, it's just that the lead has got so hot as the rectifier's overheated that the solder's dropped off. Quite often I have a crack in them too. The heat is so intense I'll just crack the plasticky stuff they're made out of. And that's that one. Let's have a look at the other one. The one the smoke was coming out of, supposedly. These are simple to open up, just a couple of screws in the bottom. Luckily both of these are the same, so I can make one good one out of two buggered ones probably. Put your bits in a lid. Yeah, they're both quite a good charger. I mean, if you go and buy these old style battery chargers now, you can still get them. They're about 150 bucks, you know. So if you can get one at a garage sale for 10, 20, 30 bucks, you're way in front, and they would charge any sort of battery from dead flat. But you've got to treat them with respect, you know. They haven't got any sophisticated protection built in, and I mean, I've got 2 or 3 of these, and I've never ever blown one. In all the years I've been working around on new vehicles and tractors and stuff, I've never ever had one go. But here you go, you got 2 of them, and they're both stuffed. I mean, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Okay, let's open this up. See what the damage is. Oh, look at that. Man, the sheep barbecued. Far out. Oh, look in there. Oh, Good one, good one. Yeah, they turned that off in a hurry, didn't they? Fucking hell. Shit. Ooh, the screw's falling out too, by the look of it. So that is a total write-off. That nothing there will be salvageable. Absolutely destroyed. And that could have been prevented, you know what I mean? That's just been trashed through lack of bloody care. It really makes me mad. Alright, so you can bet your bottom dollar that bridge rectifier is absolutely stuffed. The transformer's had meltdown, it's got that bloody hot, it's actually melted the damn thing. So now we'll try and fix up this one. Well, we will fix this one up. I'm sure we can do that. But that is trash can stuff. Okay, moving on. Now you can tell it's off a farm because of the usual amount of dust and dirt in them. That's typical. And as far as repairing these goes, I did a video on this quite a while back, a long time back, and it's had, I don't know, 70,000 views or something. It's had a lot of views. And it shows you how to basically repair one of these, what to check, what to test. So I'm not going to go through all that again. I'm just going to show you what's going to be done as far as replacing the part. We're going to take out that bridge rectifier. Now that one is this is an 8 amp unit. The bridge rectifier that's in there is a 10 amp, but it didn't it didn't did the job until they just trashed it. So I'm going to put a 35 amp one in. You can go higher, don't go lower, but you can go higher. So this is a 35 amp 1000 volt one. This is a 10 amp 600 volt one. So it's not going to be absolute protection. It can still bugger these up, but it gives you a bit more leeway as far as, you know, misuse goes. I expect it's going to get bloody a hard time again, it always does, but so we'll shove that in. This has got little tabs on it. These have just got the leads, so I have to put some, I could solder onto there. I think I'll put some spades on the wires, save getting any heat on this. And when you install these, put a bit of heat sink grease on the back of it if you've got some, and that'll just help disperse the heat a bit. So yeah, I'll move on. Now if you're working on electronics, take all the safety precautions, and I mean you're going to have to measure output voltage, so you're going to have it plugged in at some stage to make sure the transformer's all right. But once you've checked those leads, those 3 leads, one will be 12 volt, there'll be a 6 volt tap in the middle, and the other one will be neutral. So once you know you've got 13 volts coming out your transformer, unplug it, and then you can do the rest, you know, without any power being on. But the other thing is too, before you start these jobs, take a photograph with your mobile phone or your camera. Photograph the wiring before you disturb it. That way, if you get confused, you know how it looked before, you can trace back and get out of the shit, basically. So you always take a photograph of anything you're working on when you're not familiar with it. A few snaps, and that's a good backup, good safety feature. All right, moving on. All right, we'll open this hole up because that's got a bigger hole in the heat sink. Alright, so we're going to go for a bigger rectifier. Now on these ones, they've got markings on the back or on the front that show AC, and they show the positive and the negative for the DC. Can't go wrong. On these they don't mark them like that, but what they do is the 4 little spades connectors, one of them you see is orientated differently to the rest. That is your DC positive, and it should be marked on there. There it is. There's a positive symbol there, so that's DC positive. So you know that one opposite over here is going to be DC negative, and both of these are going to be AC. It doesn't matter which way around you go, active or neutral, makes no difference. So that's the only thing you got to watch out for. Make sure you get your positive DC right. Right, well the easy way to do this is just to put your replacement bridge rectifier in position. You know which is DC positive, so then you can basically unsolder. Once this is down there, you can unsolder your leads individually and just reconnect them on there and see how they line up. So the first thing we're going to do is just put a bit of heat sink gooby goo on the back, and that will help transfer the heat into the casing and protect it a bit. So we'll do that. You don't need gallons of this stuff. It's the same as you use on computers, and just smear it around with a. It goes a fair way, so you only need a bit. Just smear it around with a screwdriver. I've got another bolt, so I want to just put the bolt through. Right, that's looking good. So now we're ready to take the wiring off individually and just connect it onto that, and it's good to go. Okay. Right, well we've got the old rectifier out. You can see on the back how it's marked, positive and negative, and AC. We've got the new rectifier in. I've just got to hook up the AC active, and it all should go. Alright, moving on. Okay, so now we'll plug it in and measure the voltage. 12.13, 6.90. So that's what you want. All good, says she's all fixed up. So the brother-in-law can get back to charging up his batteries again. Well, that's it, job's complete. Just a matter of put the lid back on and she's good to go. The only other thing you must always do when you work on this sort of stuff is you always check for resistance between earth and the active and neutral on the plug, and also against the chassis too, just in case it's not grounded, because you don't want to have any leakage going across. So it should be a 0 reading for resistance on that and that and that and that. Okay, that's it for me. If you're going to do this stuff, play safe, take care, and yeah, use common sense. Okay, see you next time. Cheers.